Welcome back to our first and only episode of the Coinbase Intern podcast. I'm your host, Chris Haley, and these are my two top interns of the summer. The first person on the left is Sam Ip. He is a rising senior at UBC. And to the right, we have Annie Liu. She too is also a rising senior at UBC. And UBC stands for University of British Columbia. Is that right? Yeah, that's right.
Yes, sir.
I went to USC, so just a one-letter difference. So if you just change the B to the S, then you'll have the better university. I'm just kidding. So yeah, do you guys want to start by telling us about yourselves, like doing a quick intro? Yeah, Annie, why don't you take it away?
Sure. Hi. Yeah. So I'm currently studying at UBC in the computer science and business program. I'm going into fourth year this upcoming fall. And right now I'm interning at Coinbase on the infrastructure security team. And I previously interned at SAP before this. Some of my hobbies beside coding are playing piano, playing badminton, and yeah, watching Netflix, I guess.
You're gonna have to recommend me on some Netflix shows. Yeah. And what about you, Sam?
Thanks for having me on, Chris. Yeah, I'm Sam, also going into my final year, studying computer science. I'm working on the exchange, you could say tooling for the exchange. And yeah, Chris will be joining to see my demo tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Sam's accomplishments this summer,
Yeah.
as well as Annie's too. I cannot forget that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I first want to start by asking what is something that you two learned this summer? Because obviously working at a company like Coinbase is very fruitful. It can be challenging at times. It can be very fun at times. I've seen a wide range of emotions from joy to ranting to everything in between. So yeah, what are something that you two learned this summer?
I can go first. Oh, hey, actually, Chris taught me how to lead code better. Actually during this time, like it was a rough time with the layoffs.
Yeah.
Like real talk, yeah. I think like the morale was like pretty low, but like, we did have a talk that day, and Chris was really helpful with I guess making sure that we are going for our best interests for ourselves, for our career. And I think that was a really helpful discussion, and Chris was really good at that.
I'm flattered.
One thing for me that I thought was the most helpful was to be, it's actually non-technical, and it was just to be pretty proactive in, I guess, seeking opportunities for my work. I guess a little bit more on that. Somehow I was able to expand my intern project outside of my scope. And I think after like talking and being in like the now with other teams' work, I was able to somehow, I guess, benefit other teams. And yeah, I thought that was really impactful. And I think I learned the most through reaching out when and if people need help and just helping there. Yeah. How about you, Annie? What do you think was you learned this summer?
Yeah, I agree with Sam like on the last point. I was also gonna say like I think the biggest thing I learned this summer is like not being afraid to like ask questions or just like ask for help in general, because I feel like in my previous internship I was definitely blocked oftentimes because like I was kind of afraid to ask questions, and I had like imposter syndrome. But now I learned that by asking for help, whenever you're like really stuck on something, you get unblocked more quickly, and you can make progress on your work like faster. And I've learned to like also push myself and challenge myself. Sometimes like maybe asking to take on more tasks, or to expand your project is like not necessarily a bad thing if you're like bored, or if you're already like bored of something that you're already like working on. So there's that. Yeah, and I guess like also in tech, like what Sam said, things can be very unpredictable. I thought like being like a software eng sometimes, like it could be considered like a pretty stable job to other people sometimes, because it's like high salary and all that, but like in the tech industry things can also be like very unpredictable at times. And yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to add that right now is sort of not a usual time in tech, as we're recording this in August of 2022. You know, even places like Facebook and Google are sort of slowing down on hiring, which is something that is not usual in the industry. But yeah, I guess being adaptable is definitely one of the good traits to have in tech, as well as being able to put yourself out there, and ask questions early on, before things get too bad later on. Yeah, so I wanted to segue into sort of what the best software engineering practices that you guys have learned, specifically, like any new languages, tools, that you learned.
Should I go first?
Yeah, I guess Sam, you can go first.
Right. I worked primarily in the monorepo, and oh, well, I did that, and also I dabbled in a little bit of the infra code bases.
Mhm.
But it seems the style is they have like, yeah, a monorepo with a lot of tooling, and one code base has like an entire style guideline and best practices in it of itself.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like we also like learn from different other companies for our best practices too, and a lot of open source. I won't say which exact company that we also like copy from, but yeah, I feel like learning from that has and using that as reference, and also another big one like code reviews um, from your team, and there are like required reviewers at least for my team, and having those required few people, in the beginning, it's like I'd say considerably hard to like push a PR through first time. So getting better at that and like adjusting there helped me, you could say, a lot in learning skills as a SWE. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so a lot of the strategic processes about how to get a GitHub PR in, yeah, those skills are very important beyond just the sort of surface level hands-on skills you can learn from whether it's your CS classes or online school.
For real. Yeah. Ayo, when the build fails, but it's actually just a flaky test, we're good.
Definitely. What about you, Annie?
Yeah, on my part, yeah, so I've been working on the polyrepo, which is like the opposite of what Sam has worked on. We actually built our entire repo from scratch in the beginning of May, along with my mentor and the other intern on my team. And so there's not that many guidelines, unfortunately, but I've actually learned a lot from like my mentor and his like code reviews. Obviously, my code has definitely gotten more like structured, and it like adheres to the coding principles more now than before. My tech stack is primarily just Golang, AWS, and MongoDB. And I previously haven't worked with MongoDB before, so I actually learned a lot about that as well. Yeah, and I actually found that like some code, like some, I guess, concepts that we learn in class, can be actually like applied at work. I was actually very surprised about that because I thought otherwise before this internship. Yeah, such as like I guess like database concepts, like just like aggregation, like group by and stuff. I haven't had to like use it that much before in other projects and stuff. And also just like system construction in general, I would say. And yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And just to add on that, I think CS is one of these majors where, when people first get into it, they're a little confused as to why they're learning this stuff because they don't know what the real life application of it is. But I think it's one of these things where later on, when you start work, when you start diving deeper into like code bases, you can start going back to some of these classes that you've taken and maybe start reviewing some textbooks, reviewing some of the notes that you took in that class. And that's where you start to see some of the concepts build up, because I guess CS is building from a fundamental level. It's the building bricks for proper software development. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like we got a good foundation through through school, you'd say,
Yeah.
and then just add that on with work.
Yeah. I wanted to segue into something less technical, because as software engineers and tech people, it's important to have a balanced life, and to have, activities outside of your daily work. Was there anything fun that you two did this summer? Annie, you can go first because Sam's been going first the first few times.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I've traveled to a few places this summer. One of them is definitely Seattle. I've been in and out of Seattle. I actually got to meet my team in person in Seattle as well. I went to two team offsites slash like dinner, I guess. Yeah, it was really awesome meeting up with them and like just hang out in person. The vibe is definitely different than calling through Google Meets. And I also went to Oregon this summer. I went to Portland and I bought quite a lot of stuff. Yeah, I actually bought a M1 chip MacBook. So yeah,
I know Portland, Oregon has no sales tax, so
yeah,
that's the
exactly.
best place to buy stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I bought a lot of stuff there. And I really recommend this beach called Cannon Beach. It's like an hour and a half away from Portland. It's to the west of Portland, I believe. But yeah, the view is like beautiful. There's a lot of sea caves, and it low-key resembles like the California beaches, which really surprised me. And yeah, I've been like just hanging out with friends, having a good time. Yeah.
You just compared Oregon to California. I'm insulted, but
Really? Okay, wait, no, the beaches are real. You gotta wait, have you been to Oregon yet? Like,
I have once.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It had a nice vibe. Like the white sandy beaches. I really like those.
What about you, Sam?
Yeah, I'm in Japan right now. Yeah, can you not tell?
It's not cherry blossom season, man. It's the summer.
Yeah, actually, that would be cool if that was like a metaverse thing. Like,
Yeah.
you're like perpetually in like the cherry blossom season all year round. I think that'd be cool. No, yeah, I stayed in the British Columbia area this entire summer. And actually, that's false. I did go to Seattle earlier in the summer, and yeah, I am more of a homey guy, hence the work from home at Coinbase. And yeah, I'm a gamer too, so you can catch me on Valorant. Face square off with me in Bind. Yeah, if you know that map. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a gamer myself, but I do hear Valorant and what's that other one? League is very popular these days.
Yeah, they had their like what's it called? Their championship series like I think they had one in Iceland and the other one was in oh shoot, I forgot. I think the last one will be in like Istanbul or something like that. But watching it online, like being able to watch it online is pretty cool. So yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I guess contrasting to you two, you guys spent a lot of time in the Pacific Northwest. I spent most, if not all, of my time here in the South Bay, in the Bay Area. And I spent much of my summer training for the SF Marathon, which was in July. Now that I am done with marathon running, I don't know how much running I'm going to do. Next. Any juicy stories from the summer? Anything that you want to spill the tea about? I know there might not be a lot of drama in a remote first environment, but there should be a good amount. Sam?
Actually, I wanted to pin the or turn the focus on you, Chris. I remember you worked with you worked kind of closely with someone who I think Coinbase was also on the news for this on insider trading. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm curious. We might have to blur this out.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, look, stuff happened. And sure, I may have indirectly worked with him in certain aspects, like when it comes to asset listing. That being said, he was not a part of my day-to-day work. But that was a wild story that happened in the news. I think as crypto becomes bigger, we are going to see more of these events happening. And for the most part, they're isolated right now. But I do believe that there are going to be more regulations put in place by various agencies in the future. Actually, Brian, I believe, has a link to a Wall Street Journal article for crypto regulation, which I can put in the description below.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it. And it was like all for just like $1 million or something like that. Dang. Then if he was like senior staff, he'd already be making like that much. But like, yeah, it's crazy what people do now.
Yeah, just lesson learned, guys. There are a lot of very legal ways to make a lot of money. Actually, I genuinely think code does pay better than crime. So this is me encouraging people to enter the tech world. And yeah, that actually segues into the final question. So you two are very prolific, and you guys have done well for yourself in the tech industry very early on in your careers. Do you have any advice for people who are wanting to get into tech or are planning on a tech career?
Yeah, I feel like my big advice would probably just to grindly code.
Yep.
You want to get those interviews, and if you want to get past these interviews and stuff. And I feel like networking is also a big part of it. Like even through like very casual settings. Like I met a lot of like interns at big tech companies like Microsoft and Amazon just by going to like my friend's house party. I got to meet a lot of people there, and I think my biggest advice would still be to do leak code.
Next time, invite me to these house parties.
For sure, I got you. You gotta come to Vancouver, man. Like, gotta fly over.
What about you, Sam?
For newcomers trying to break it into tech, that's the question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm like too good to like give advice myself. I feel like, you could say like I haven't like fully broken yet. I guess, I mean, I'm at Coinbase, which is like, I guess
I
this
mean,
is coming from me personally. I feel like despite where I am, I feel like I failed like quite a lot. But I think like the good part to it is like, you know, you can fail a lot and then you like can keep learning from it without any consequences. And then, you know, you can keep you have like multiple tries, you know, like you have multiple tries to interview with the same company, you know, you just go back next year, try again. And yeah, I feel like you get like good feedback from that. And you know, it's also like a litmus test. It's like, you know, every failure, it's like it tests you. It's like, oh shit, like I might be able to push through. I don't know, but you know, I think it's worth it at the end. So keep failing.
that's very inspirational.
Thanks, man.
I mean, I do want to add that a lot of these top tech companies, you know, Coinbase, Facebook, Google, of course, the Fang Mula, these acceptance rates for internships, I saw a stat once. It's lower than that of the Ivy League. It's lower than that of Stanford or these top universities. So I think at the end of the day, if you have the skills, if you have the motivation, it is a numbers game. You can just keep applying to a wide variety of different places. Like I remember my junior year, I applied to probably over 100 places and got into maybe one or two.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I feel like it is like really competitive in that sense. It's like, oh, like one small like step that you missed in like a question during the interview, and it's like, oh, you're not the best candidate. And then yeah, and especially if you have like a bad day, then like that can like tear you down. But yeah, it has nothing to do with how good you are as a coder. You just gotta pick yourself back up and try again.
Sam, it seems like you got a startup idea to work on, solving the interview hiring problem for once and for all.
That really is like $1 trillion problem, honestly. Like, yeah. But
For sure.
if I could solve that, yeah, that'd be crazy.
For sure. Yeah, and I guess like for like a non-CS student, like even if you're not in CS, you can still, I guess, do projects to like make your resume look better to get past like the resume screening. Like that's what I did personally because I actually have a commerce degree. I'm in like computer science and business, but I at the end of the day I still get a commerce degree. But yeah, I think for my first internship when I didn't have any experiences, I just did a few side projects and put those on my resume to make it look a bit better than having zero experiences.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that.
For sure. It's all about making that applicant tracker system very happy.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, we've reached the end of our questions. Once again, this is the Coinbase Intern Show. This is our one and only program. I'm here talking with two top-notch interns. They're from Canada, and Canada tends to create a lot of top interns. So I guess that's one of your country's biggest exports. Do you two have any final thoughts?
Chris, why is this the last Coinbase podcast? You have anything to share?
Yeah, so I will be, as of this interview date, I have submitted my 2 weeks resignation and I will be joining a new company, not a new one, but I'll be joining a smaller company called Alliance. They are a Web3 accelerator.
Yay! Let's go.
Why
Congratulations.
are you leaving us?
Wow, you're
I was like, congrats, and then Sam was just like, why are you leaving us?
It's almost like the angel and the devil sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm that
Um,
HR question. I'm that HR person that asks you at your exit interview.
Yeah, I wanted to try somewhere a little bit smaller and work with startups. That is my main answer. But that
Cool.
being said, I really enjoyed my 1 year at Coinbase as a full-time engineer. I got to learn a lot. And to anyone who is looking to intern or work full-time at Coinbase, especially if they are out of college, I highly recommend this company, especially if you're into crypto. Because you get the best of both worlds. You get to have a fundamental understanding of engineering. You get to learn good engineering practices, and you also get to sort of have a window into this new growing industry that is crypto and Web3. It's almost like the Wild West right now.
They also have great mentorship. Yeah, Chris is an amazing. Yeah, real talk. Yeah, he's been an amazing mentor this summer, and really like we actually had these podcasts every other week.
Every other week. Yeah.
This is just the first time we recorded it.
Yeah, it's been real in the now with yeah, Chris keeps us in the now for like what's happening top of mind for the company. Yeah.
And I'm also going to add that, as you can tell, the intern hiring bar is pretty high. So that's why I got to work or mentor with people like Sam and Annie.
Yeah, it was a really fun summer with you, Chris. I low key am sad that you're leaving, and yeah, our internships are about to end too. So
Well, you guys know how to keep in touch with me. You guys have me on an Instagram group too, so we can keep in touch. Let me know where your next adventures take you, and I wish you two the best of luck as you come into your senior year and graduate.
thank you. I also hope that you're that you settle in well at your new role and that work goes smoothly.
Yeah, Alliance is gonna be great to have you, and yeah, congrats again on that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I am signing out, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
Peace.